So we're going to be starting. We're going to be doing something a little bit different with our vlogcasts moving forward. We're dividing it into three different shows: the Disney edition, Star Wars edition, and Marvel edition. Because our vlogcasts have been super long, and so we want to market our vlogcasts to people with specific interests. So that way, if you're interested in Star Wars, you can watch this show. Marvel or Disney, or you can watch all three. We'd love for you to watch all three, obviously. So anyway, with that said, welcome to episode 1 of the Star Wars edition of the Castles, Capes, and Clones vlogcast. Today we'll be talking about The Mandalorian being named one of American Film Institute's best. We're going to be talking about Funko Fair, and we're going to be talking about the High Republic. So let's get cracking. We are Castles, Capes, and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post. Hey, everybody, I'm Loren, and I'm here with my cousin and co-pilot, Rich.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I'm pretty much the same. Yeah.
I'm just kind of waiting to see when the Disney Downtown Disney opens the Star Wars store.
Yes.
Because
I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
They're supposed to put Rey's speeder in front, right?
Yeah. Like, I'm wondering what that means by in front, because like, do you leave Rey's speeder outside all night?
Yeah.
Or do they put it in the spot where you can't get to? I'm kind of curious how they do that and what other kind of theming they're going to do with it, because they did add some on the outside already. So I'm imagining they're going to put more to make it look more rebel basey
instead of
looking like a
Rainforest
Cafe.
Yeah. I'm sure that they're going to be doing more to it.
Yeah. So hopefully, I don't know. Like, hopefully within this next month.
Yeah.
We'll open it. So.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
Yeah. Well, that'll be very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start off with movie and TV news. So The Mandalorian has been named American Film Institute's Best of 2020.
Rightly so.
Yeah. I think that it definitely deserves to be up there for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the most talked about shows of 2020.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, I mean, it's a Star Wars show, so I figure it would be at least somewhat popular, but with the Baby Grogu, it's become like a pop icon show. So it's like, it's the water cooler show.
Right.
Did you see what Baby Grogu did today? Yes.
Yeah.
But,
good show.
Like, Baby Grogu is everywhere.
Yeah. I can't believe that we have to wait. What is it, 2 years?
I would assume probably spring of 2022.
A year and a half.
I'd say a little over a year from now.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
So
a year and 2 months.
It seems like forever.
Yeah. But I mean, like, remember when, like, Disney Plus launched and we're like, man, when's the Mandalorian gonna come out? And then, man, when is WandaVision gonna come out?
Right.
Or any Marvel anything.
Yeah, and
And
now
here we are.
WandaVision. Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of The Mandalorian, it's rumored that season 3 will begin filming in April,
Yeah,
which sounds about right.
yeah, because they should be wrapping up the book of Boba Fett. Because that already, because what we thought was beginning filming on Mandalorian season 3 was actually they began filming on Book of Boba Fett back in fall. So
it's like the best kept secret, I tell you.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
and like if you follow Ming Na Wen on Instagram, there is no hint of anything that she might be working on a series.
Oh, because I'm sure that they would have killed her if
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's so like, I mean, not even like knowing that she's on a series of anything. It didn't seem like she was doing anything because like Shield's done.
Yeah.
So even when she was doing Shield, you can kind of tell she was working on a show. But yeah, there's like no indication that was a thing. Like obviously we saw her in season 1,
right?
And I think a lot of rumor was like, with that way that episode ended, like she's got to be coming back.
Yeah, I mean, there had to have been a reason why.
Yeah, but I couldn't have told you. Oh, she's going to be in a series starring Boba Fett.
Yeah, exactly. we did not. I mean, and the fact that it's going to be ready by the end of this year, it's crazy.
Hopefully.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's got to be, and then year-ish until December next year. And then that's why I'm hoping that, I mean, they got to know that the Mandalorian is a hot commodity. So I don't think they want to do what like Battlestar Galactica did and like keep fans waiting like 2 years or whatever for like the final season or whatever.
Yeah.
And you want to keep Grogu in the hearts and minds of people. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna guess that with the Book of Boba Fett taking that kind of fall winter spot, they'll want to follow it up kind of like if it starts in December, January, maybe March or April, we might see Mandalorian, hopefully.
Right.
Because yeah, otherwise that's a really long time to wait to see what happened to, well, not just Grogu, but like there's that whole like, oh hey, you have the Darksaber, that's the thing I wanted, and I had to in order for me to wield it, I have to combat whoever has it.
Yeah.
Like, is there gonna be a time jump? Are they gonna like begin right there and Bo-Katan just like, give me that and fight him?
Yeah, there's got to be.
Yeah, there's like
something.
Many things that could happen right there. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of the Book of Boba Fett won't be the only bounty hunter featured in the series. There is a rumor that Bosk and Dengar will be appearing, which would make sense because they had a big part in Boba Fett's life. Maybe even Cad Bane, I've heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Which would be super cool to see him in live action.
Yes. For those who don't know, Cad Bane is he's a bounty hunter. Featured prominently in the Clone Wars. He's a Duros species, which is those guys with like the big blue heads with big red eyes. That you see in the cantina in A New Hope. But he's like a pretty like, not evil per se, but he's definitely not a bounty hunter with a heart of gold.
No, he's not.
Yeah. It's kind of like how, like, I feel like in the past, Boba Fett's always been kind of lumped in with the Empire and like bad guys. While technically he's just a bounty hunter. But he
Yeah.
always kind of like put on, like, if you had like the good guys and the bad guys, Boba Fett was always there. Cad Bane is definitely on the bad guy side. Like, he's got more tendencies to cheat, swindle, lie,
He's
manipulate.
ruthless. That's a good way of calling him, ruthless.
But he's also like a very cool character. Like,
he's very he's very cool for a villain. Yeah.
Bosk is a Trandoshan, which we've seen in the Mandalorian, the
different kind of character.
First episode or the second episode? I think it's the second episode.
No, wouldn't it have been the first episode because they were?
No. Because he already had Grogu with him.
In the first episode?
No, when he gets ambushed by the.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you kind of see them you see the Trandoshans in the like Greef Karga's cantina thing.
Right.
But you don't see them in action until second episode, because they ambush him while he has Grogu.
Right.
So there are Trandoshans, the lizard-like aliens in the show already. So
right.
And then Dengar is just a human.
Yeah.
With like a weird
head wrap on his head.
Head. He actually, I mean, they both were in the Clone Wars. And so he already, I'm like, besides the whole Empire Strikes Back connection to them, Boba Fett as a kid, first starting out as a bounty hunter, worked with Dengar and Bosk. So, and
Asajj Ventress, maybe she'll be. I wonder if she'd be part of it. Oh, I'd love to see it.
Well, I mean, like all there's a whole, like, in the Clone Wars, there are a bunch of bounty hunters that they feature. Any of them would be cool. Not only did, I mean, like, he did work with Asajj Ventress, but like, I think even more prominently, oh my god, I'm blanking on her name. She was featured, like, weirdly, she was in
Aura Singh.
Singh. She was in the Phantom Menace.
Right.
She was watching the pod race, and like everyone speculated that she'd play some major role in the next couple movies, but that's all we got.
Yeah. But she's like got this whole backstory and all this stuff that they developed for her.
Yeah, and they mentioned her in Solo. So, what did they say about her? Like, what's his face? Like, shot her or something. I forget.
Yeah, I can't remember. I remember hearing it, but I can't remember.
So, like, I feel like the Book of Boba Fett could bring in a lot of those other characters that, not just Bosk and Dengar, but all the other ones, because it's an interesting job to have, and because like not all of them are ruthless. Kind of like they're not like all Cad Bane. Like if you look at the Mandalorian, like Din Djarin is a bounty hunter, and he's definitely wouldn't put him on the kind of evil side of things. So there is a spectrum on the morality scale. That they have. So
for sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's go on to video game news. EA has assured fans that while Lucasfilm Games will include other studios, EA will continue to work with them to make games as well.
Yeah, there was EA when Lucas Arts, the original Lucasfilm game division, shut down, and then they announced that they had an exclusive deal with EA. Everyone kind of thought, or it made it seem like it was like a 10-year deal where they'll be the only ones doing it. And I guess technically, I think it's been 8 years, so they have 2 more years of exclusivity. But that doesn't mean, like, at this point they can get other studios involved, because a game takes at least 2 years to make. So by the
Right.
time that exclusivity comes to pass, then the other studios can also release whatever they're working on, you know. But that doesn't mean that EA is not going to make any other games. I think what they've realized is that, you know, games take a lot of work to make.
Yeah.
And so at the rate that EA is going, one, like, even just, not to say just like EA slow, it's like it's all studios. If they do it right, it takes at least 2 years to make a game.
Yeah.
But that means there's kind of like lost opportunities and whatever if they only get a major title every 3-4 years, right? So with opening it up to other studios, there's a lot of potential for not just more titles, but different types of Star Wars games, because EA is known for Battlefront and Squadrons, which is more multiplayer based stuff. You know, they had Jedi Fallen Order, which is a good story one, but I think a lot of people want different types of games. You know, like the whole open world one that Massive and Ubisoft is working on. That's something cool. And who knows who else they're going to tap to make other kinds of games. I hope they like go back to also making games aimed towards younger kids. Maybe we'll see some High Republic stuff. So who knows? It's just it's one of those things like EA is like, we're still here. We're still, because they do have three good franchises, right? They have the Battlefront series, which you know, it's still going strong. Squadrons came out and it's very popular. I'm just waiting for, like, I have it. I'm just waiting for VR, the next gen VR on the PlayStation 5 to actually start playing that game, because I want to play it in virtual reality, because people who play it in that say it's amazing, and I kind of want to wait to experience it that way.
Yeah.
And then Jedi Fallen Order is a great game.
Right.
It's an amazing game. I'm excited to see where they go with that as well. So
that's cool.
Yarp.
Very cool. All right. Well, let's move to publishing news. StarWars.com has released its first episode of a new show called Star Wars: The High Republic. In which it's like High School Musical, the musical series.
Yeah.
In which host Christina Ariel talks about all things involving the High Republic, including discussions with its creators.
Yeah, it's interesting about this show. It's like it's a half an hour long. I don't know if that's because it was a premiere episode, but like the Star Wars show itself is only 10 minutes at most. The other show that they have weekly, that like this week in Star Wars, is only like maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So this is like a longer running series.
I think they probably really want people to buy into this new pocket of the universe that they're developing, and they've put so much money into it, and they want people to be jazzed about it. And I think that they're, I think that's why they're doing these things.
And rightly so. I mean, what most people don't realize is that after Return of the Jedi came out in 1983, that was it for a very long time. What kept Star Wars in the hearts and minds of everybody were the books that came out in like 89, maybe 89, 90, something like that. So there was a large gap with nothing, and then the books came out, and the books were published, for even a couple of years before word got out that the Phantom Menace is being worked on. Or actually, I think what happened was like the books became popular, especially the Thrawn trilogy by Timothy Zahn, and everyone's like, "Ooh, Star Wars is back," but in written form, right? And for a lot of us, it was almost enough because if it's a well-written Star Wars book, you feel like it's one of the movies.
Yeah.
But then interest in Star Wars came back. George Lucas had a little more toys and money in his pocket, so that's when we got the special editions for the original trilogy. And then by 1999 we got Phantom Menace. So from 83 to probably 97, when the first special editions came out, there's nothing besides the books.
Right.
And so the books have kind of taken an ancillary kind of role in the past couple of years, where there are more accompanying all the stuff that's been coming out. Like here are the movies, and here are a couple books about some of the characters and what happened to them and whatever. So this is the first time in a long time that this is now a whole new era where they can tell original stories that have nothing to do with the Skywalker saga or Rebels or the Mandalorian or whatever. I mean, there might be some characters that cross over. Obviously they've announced that Yoda is going to be there, but
yeah,
I mean, Yoda's 900 years old.
So. I know, I was going to say he's probably the only character that
right.
could,
there's only a couple that could probably exist.
Maybe Yaddle.
Yeah. Yarl Proof. There's a couple that might, because we don't know how old their species are can get. But I'm not done with Light of the Jedi, but I can tell you already that the characters, like the Jedi of this era, are almost kind of like what I wish we got in the prequels.
Right.
But understandably, in the prequels, we were witnessing the fall of the Jedi. Like, this is really like every time we hear about the Jedi being talked about by Obi-Wan, it's like they're the peacekeepers of the galaxy for like centuries and whatever. This is them. This is what that is. And it's really cool to kind of see them in that light, because we really haven't in anything that's considered canon.
Right.
So the show, unfortunately, I did not watch, because one of the first things they do say is, if you plan on reading the books or not, we are going to go into some spoilers. So I'm like, okay.
Oh.
So I stopped watching like early because they said that. So I'm like, okay. I'm trying to get through. I mean, it's not like I'm struggling. It's just like the time issue to get through The Light of the Jedi and then the other novels and like young adult books I want to get through before I watch anything. Because there's a lot of stuff on the High Republic out right now. It's just I'm not caught up. And so but this is a show I definitely want to watch, because it's always interesting to hear what their takes on it. And they seem to also be releasing a lot more like artwork and like little informational tidbits here and there. And then also I enjoy like the interviews with the creators, because like even when the books were popular, I didn't see a lot of collaboration between the authors. And this is definitely a super collaboration between all the authors involved. Like,
it really does seem like they brought them all together and hashed out where they were going to go in this universe. I mean, it's the same Star Wars universe, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, like, they're all in like a regular contact with each other. So they kind of know where the story as a whole is going, but also, they allow each other to, take characters and go where they want with them. So it's definitely seemed like, so like for what I've read so far, and if you haven't, I do a summary show.
Right. You guys should definitely listen to his show if you haven't already.
Yeah, like I literally just summarized chapter by chapter, so I don't really go into detail. And sometimes it's hard for me when I do those things because I want to go into detail. So really, what you're hearing is like the main
Thrust.
thrust, yeah, the main gist of whatever the chapter is about. But so far, like all the characters they've introduced, I feel like it's basically setting up the world as is, and it's I'm enjoying it. Like it feels very Star Wars, but it also feels very new. So
yeah,
yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, StarWars.com has also started releasing animated shorts showcasing the High Republic. Now, I would definitely like to see these.
Yeah, I watched them. I think they just released a new one today or yesterday. So there's two characters that they've done, and it's literally like maybe a minute, and it's very very overviewy. So this doesn't really spoil anything more than they've already kind of said is going on. Like we know there's a great disaster that happens, and one of the characters is kind of like the one that's on the cover of the thing. Her name is Avar Kriss, who's a Jedi Master. And going like the interesting thing about her is that the way she experiences the Force is almost like she feels the Force as music, and that's kind of her kind of connection to it. Not to say like she's musical, but that's how she feels the Force, like it's a song.
Interesting.
And then the other character is a young Jedi, like a 15-year-old Jedi who's the youngest to become a knight. And I think she goes on to star in a lot of the younger novels. Yep. And then they go through who the antagonists are, the Nihil, which is another thing. And I think today they must release something about the starfighters. So
yeah, I'll definitely have to check these out.
Yeah, and like just the designs and the way they look, it's pretty awesome. Like Avar Kriss, I think, has a blade with a crossguard, like not like a Kylo Ren crossguard, but an actual crossguard, like if you took like a medieval sword and put a lightsaber blade on it,
right,
kind of thing. So I would check it out definitely.
Yeah, I definitely want to check it out for sure. All right, well, moving on to collector news. The United States Postal Service will be releasing a series of Star Wars themed stamps later this year. I definitely want to get these.
Yeah, there's 10 of them, and they're all droids.
Really?
Yeah, so obviously R2, C3PO,
BB-8,
BB-8, Chopper, Dio, and then you have like the 2-1B medical droid. I'm pretty sure K2SO, L3.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what the other ones are, but yeah, like any of the major droids you see in the show, they look really good.
Wow.
So yeah, I'll have to also get them when they come out. They haven't said when they're coming out. But if you check the U.S. Postal Service site, so USPS.com.
Right.
I'm sure they'll have a big hoop-de-doo about it. But they cost as much as stamps.
Yeah, of course,
because they are stamps. Like you can use them as stamps. So
yeah,
it's not like you're paying $50 for a stamp.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, unless you buy them on the secondary market, then
when they stop printing them,
right,
then you buy them. But then you're not buying them from Postal Service.
You're buying them from somebody else. Managed to buy 100 of them.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know when it comes out, I'll let everyone know.
Yeah, somewhere. Definitely letting me know, because sometimes I don't know when certain things are happening.
Yeah, that's why you should subscribe to the channel and know when the Star Wars edition of our vlogcast comes out.
Right.
So.
All right. Well, the Funko Fair, which is Funko, which is a company that does vinyl figures and different kinds of collectibles.
Yep.
They are having a fair, a virtual fair, not an actual fair, and they're announcing, about 400 of their products during this fair. So they have announced several Star Wars themed ones, including the Rise of Skywalker, and some Valentine's ones. I really want the Darth Vader Valentine's one. It's pink.
Yeah, they're like pink. They're like pink pop vinyls with like some kind of heart, a candy heart box or something.
Yeah. Who's it? Like Darth Vader, Yoda, Chewbacca, and the Stormtrooper.
I'm pretty sure C-3PO I saw somewhere in there. But
okay, yeah, maybe
there's a bunch. There's a bunch. I mean, like this is only a couple of the things. Like they also have like minis, keychains.
Right.
That they also announced that Star Wars theme, but these are the kind of the big items. There's like I think there's even like I think for the Rise of Skywalker line there's a jumbo pop of Babu Frick.
Right.
So jumbo pops.
Yeah, like a 10.
The really big 10-inch ones.
Yeah, which is so funny considering that he's so tiny.
Yeah. I think that line has like Ray, Dark Ray, obviously Babu Frick. I'm sure there's a Dio, Kylo Ren of some sort. Maybe like good sweater or whatever they call that him when he's Ben Solo. Like good like the sweater version of Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is why like Funko Pops to me are a dangerous proposition because there's so many.
Yes.
So I do have some Star Wars pop vinyls or pop Funko Pops, but I have like Luke in a light speed or his speeder, and Han on a tauntaun. So it's like a very specific kind that I will get.
Right.
So that's the only way. It's the only way I can not spend all my money on, and like all my background would just be a wall of not just Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers.
Oh, I know. That's my place.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But even like you have like it's still like mostly Disney stuff. Like
yeah, it's mostly Disney stuff, and
I would just open up to everything, just everything. Cereal.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith got like 8 million versions of himself. So yeah. It's weird, like anything. D&D. Like so everything has it.
Yeah. So. It is. It really is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The Black Series will be adding Kenner variants for Greedo, Obi-Wan, and a Jawa, while we will also be getting new releases of Qui-Gon Jinn, Jar Jar, and Mace Windu.
Yeah, what's interesting about what the Kenner variant means, they released one already. It's Boba Fett, but Boba Fett in the colors that his old like 70s action figure was. And so what that means is like Greedo's gonna look more like the action figure version of Greedo, which is a little bit less screen accurate.
Yeah.
If I remember right, the Greedo that they had was like mostly green with a dark green shirt,
right,
or something. I can't remember what he looked like, but like because I remember when they released like the newer versions of Greedo, and he looked more like the movie version.
Yeah,
I was so used to the toy version. I was like, "Who is that? That's not Greedo."
Right.
Then you rewatch A New Hope, you're like, "Oh no, that is Greedo."
Yeah. I know.
Right.
You're so used to the action figures.
Yeah. Obi-Wan, I'm gonna guess he's what I want from like I guess he's got like a browner coat, maybe.
I
don't know. I can't remember if he had I guess he had a blue lightsaber. I think Luke was the one with the yellow lightsaber in the 70s.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Part of me is also then like, give him the vinyl cape to make him like
I know
really
that.
look like.
Yeah, definitely. That's how they should do it for sure.
The retro. I mean, they do retro lines. Like there's a retro,
Right.
like the released Mandalorian figures on the retro look. So you can get like
Yeah.
even Grogu you can get as a retro 70s version.
Right.
Which is hilarious because he kind of looks normal.
That's so funny. Anyway, all right. Well, there's a rumor that the Black Series might further release more comics and legend characters like Darth Maul from the comics, Luke Skywalker from the Thrawn trilogy, and Jax from the early Marvel comic line. I
That's
would
the one.
love that. I want that bunny.
So, Jax. For those who don't know, Jax is literally a large rabbit with a flight suit. He's green.
And green. Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you're like, it was in the Marvel comics, so you're just like, okay. It was back in the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
And you would never think that. You think that would be the end of that character because like it's really silly or whatever. But I mean, it's not that he's like silly,
right?
But it's like it's weird. You see like Luke, Han, Chewie, Leia hanging out with a green rabbit.
Yeah.
But I would love if this rumor is true.
Yeah, I would be first in line to buy that action figure.
Yeah. I mean, they've been known to do figures and stuff from other mediums, like
yeah.
You know, in the early, like before the newer waves of stuff, when was the Powers of the Forest, they did a whole line of figures from other, like from the video games, from the comics, and so they do video game ones. So, you know, there's still a lot of fans of the Legends line and the comics. So even like having, so Darth Maul from the comics is kind of like the shirtless version of him.
Yeah.
And then Luke is his Luke from like that would be probably like in the Thrawn trilogy that takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So technically, around the same time the Mandalorian takes place is when the Thrawn trilogy took place. So but it will be the book version of Luke, which is probably similar. I don't know. Unless they're doing like Dark Empire version of Luke, and still a little similar. He's still got like all black and stuff. His like tunic and stuff look a little bit different, but he's still like, you know, for a Jedi, he likes to dress in black. So
yeah, he does.
He does. Maybe just a little bit like his father.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was just about to say. It's so funny.
So I hope so, because like I like the Legends line,
right,
of characters. So nice to see Luke in a different way. And Green Rabbit. That's all you need.
I know. I know. Why not? I mean, come on.
And then you know what's gonna happen if they sell him. People are like, you just put him in Book of Boba Fett, or you can put him in.
Oh my God,
Mandalorian.
If I saw him in live action, I'd die.
I mean, if they make him, I feel like someone said that he became canonized, like somewhere he was mentioned somewhere in one of the new mediums. So I think he does exist in the universe.
Better.
Officially. So
right.
If that's not gonna happen, like I would love to see him as one of the pilots on Rogue Squadron, something. I would love to see that guy.
Oh my gosh.
And make him official, like to the masses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it so.
Do it.
All right. Well, we have come to the end of our program. I hope that you enjoyed our new format. Be sure to like our posts and leave a comment below. What was your favorite news story of the day? Share our posts with your family and friends. We'd love for them to hear about us. Most important, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. You can always reach us at podcasts@castlescapesandclones.com. Leave us your feedback, good or bad. We'd love to hear from you. And you can reach me personally on Twitter at Lojav and on Instagram at Loren Javier. How about you, Rich?
You can reach me on both Instagram and Twitter at R2Romasanta.
All right. Well, the opinions expressed on today's podcast are solely our own and do not represent the Walt Disney Company, its subsidiaries, or assets. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you later.
Yep. May the force be with you.